Hey Drifters, The Drift comes to you from our sociable DGI Communication Studios. Get the drift?
And now it's time for From the Cast, a slice of helpful boating information from the industry's fastest growing boating podcast, the Drift Podcast. Today, John heads down to sunny Miami with Mr. Yachts, Nick Cardoza, and he's talking yacht rentals. And you know, it might not be as expensive as you would think.
Can the average guy afford to lease a yacht? Let's say he's got 3 or 4 couples together and they want to pursue it. What does he do? Where does he start? Besides calling you right away, where does he start?
Where do you start? Now, when it comes to fully crewed charters, you're probably going to be starting in the range of like $1,500 for a half day and up, and you're going to get like a Sea Ray, 40-something foot Sea Ray maybe for half day.
Yeah, you're styling and profiling on a 40-something foot
Oh,
Sea Ray,
absolutely.
right?
I
Going
mean,
up the
you
river.
bring 6 to 8 people on a boat like that,
Right.
and you're
That's
having a
good
great
time.
time. And if you chop it up,
You want to do a week on the Bahamas. What do you do? What do you rent? How do you go about that?
okay, I come across this a lot. Yeah, you'd fly into Nassau. That's where the big airport is. There's a couple of big marinas there, and you'll meet your boat there.
So what I do in advance, that's all laid out in advance, I would imagine. And through a guy like you,
Yeah.
through a broker, and so you say, okay, this is what I suggest. Here's where I've been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. Here's what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And that itinerary is set before I even get to the boat, I would imagine.
Yeah, so typically when you're looking for a boat, you got to lock in the dates. It's very similar to booking a flight. So that's first thing. Find your dates. Then you choose what type of boat, sail, catamaran, big yacht, whatever.
So what do you think is if you weigh in everything, the best deal?
If you really want the best deal, you want to shop in the shoulder season. The shoulder season is going to be when winter's ending and summer's beginning and ending and fall's beginning. So that's when typically the boats are doing their transatlantics or their north to south migrations, right?
Makes sense.
And so you want to catch one of these boats, right? Like, let's say you want to do a trip in the islands, and you want to hit a few different islands. You're likely to get the best deal, when these boats are on their way to another destination. You're basically hopping on for the ride. Something like a little bit newer, 79-footer. That's going to run you $35,000 for a 2013, and you could bring three couples. So I mean, if you break it down by price, let's say
$10,000 a couple for
30.
Yeah, so it's
Exactly.
3 couples, 10,000 plus a couple for the boat.
Yeah, so you're going to pay for your food and your drink because there's no way to quantify that, right?
All right, so that number is what? That provision number is what? So we're at the 35. We add to that.
That's going to be 30% of the base price, let's say.
So it's another 10 grand.
So it's another 10 grand, but it's, whatever portion is unused goes back to you.
Right.
It's like
All right.
yeah.
So I'm at 45,
So-
and I'm on a
So you're 45.
90-footer for a week. I'm at 45 with 3 couples.
I mean, you gotta pay tax depending on where you are. Sometimes there's no tax, but the tip's going to be, again, a percentage of the charter.
So I'm at
Yeah, you're a couple
$50,000.
thousand there.
I'm at $50,000
You're fif-
for a 70 to 90 footer a week for 3 couples. All in, food, floating hotel, incredible destinations, 7 days on the water.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty reasonable budget to get started in yacht chartering, mega yacht charter, the luxuries type where you've got people, taking the toys out for you when you want to go for a swim. Here's a
Right.
towel. Would you like some cocktails? Now the white glove service, I think, it's not a bad budget to be around. How much are you able to cough up to have the best day of your life?
Okay, let's get some friends together and rent a mega yacht. Who's with me? Find out how at driftsociably.com, and remember to follow the Drift Podcast on our social platforms at Drift Sociably or where all fine podcasts are found.
The Drift has been brought to you by Boat US. Better boating starts here. Join today. Boat US has been looking after the interests of recreational boaters for over 55 years. Our goal? To make boating better, safer, and worry-free. From coast to coast and over 600 towboats strong, the Towboat US fleet is the nation's largest. So when you need help on the water, you're not alone. For a day of worry-free boating, take us with you by downloading the Boat US app to get a tow or check weather and tides. Better boating starts here. Join today.